Hi, and welcome to CryptoBiography. I'm your host, Brandon Starr, and this is episode 193, and it's called Ethan Erickson. And here we go. I can't believe I went 82 years to grow out my hair. I was born in 1939. Guess that makes me a depression baby, but of course, I don't remember it. I do remember VE Day, though. The news and the cheering in the streets and all. I remember VJ Day, too. To be honest, I think I have those two all mixed up in my head, but what do you want for a first memory? So, I was too young for World War II, too young for Korea as well. I joined the Army, but I was already out by the time Vietnam got going. The most dangerous thing I saw was a Jeep with a bum electrical system. Somehow a spark popped when my buddy Ralph was gassing it up, and we both got burned pretty good. I still have the scars up and down my right arm and leg. Ralph got it worse. He was out of the Army after that, and had a number of troubles before liver problems due to alcohol took him in '78. But other than that, I didn't see a single dangerous thing in all my time in the Army. Learned how to fix machines pretty good. Something I'd always had an interest in. So after I mustered out, I took a job with a big firm that rented out tractors and other big machines to farms and so on. Fixed things for them for near 20 years. Sad to say, my back started to get bad after that. So I had to stop fixing tractors and find something else to do. That was in '82. Well, I'm no use in office work. And now I couldn't find work fixing what I was used to fixing. But I could cook. That was the other thing I'd done in the Army, and I picked it back up. Of course, I'd cook for myself since leaving the Army, but I found that my particular back trouble, which wouldn't allow me to do a lot of things on a vehicle, wasn't so bad standing up in a kitchen. I became a cook, then later a head cook at a couple of the biggest family restaurants in all of San Jose. Looking back, one of my biggest regrets was not becoming a restaurant owner myself. I think I could have made it. I could have scraped the money. I'd bought a house with my Army money, and San Jose, by the '80s, was really blowing up in its real estate prices. I had it paid off by '84. I could have taken out a mortgage, maybe gotten an investor or two, started one up, but I didn't. Fortunately, I saved beyond my house and put it in the market. So I've done okay. What about a wife? Never really got around to getting one. What does that mean? It means mind your own business. I was a busy man. I just never saw the point. So why not grow my hair out before now? 2 reasons. It's easier, and it puts people at ease. It's tons easier to get a job if you have short hair. I know that's an old-fashioned thought, but it happens to be true. I've never been out of work for more than a few weeks, ever. Not till I retired. But I must say, I like having the long hair. Even though it's a pain sometimes, it's, I don't know, fun. Hey, I can have fun. I had my last haircut January of 2020. Since then, it's been growing out. Of course, it doesn't do much for my baldness. I look like a damn founding father, like Benjamin Franklin. I have to be careful not to go to bed after I shower, because it doesn't dry on its own like when it was short. I wake up with a cold head. It's not healthy at my age. And of course it's curly. Curlier than I ever thought it would be. When I kept it short, it had lots of cowlicks and so on, but I never knew that if I grew it out it would be like this. And yet, despite it being so new, I think it's a part of me now. I'm not sure I'll even cut it short when I get the vaccine and it's safe to. I wonder what my mother and father would think if they saw me with long hair. They wouldn't approve. Unless they knew I grew it out to protect myself and other people, then they'd understand. At least until I kept it long after it'd be safe to cut it. They were decent people. I was their only kid. Something happened with my mother. After me, she couldn't have any more kids. They're the kind of people you know are there, but you don't have any stories about them. I guess maybe I'm not too different from them, really. I don't know what you expect from me. How do I want people to remember me? I don't. I don't care if I'm remembered or not. Part of me really resents having this conversation with you. If I hadn't been raised to be polite, I would have just turned you down flat, and that would have been it. That should have been it. I don't even care if you remember me 5 minutes after you leave my room. So I'm not going to have an obituary, not a grave marker, not even a grave when I'm gone. It's in my will not to have any kind of memorial service at all. Besides, hardly anyone would care to come even if there is one. I suppose a couple of my pals at the old restaurant might remember me and raise a glass, but I don't want to be a part of setting it up. I'll be cremated and my ashes dumped in the ocean. I've paid a lawyer a fair bit to make sure that's exactly what happens. So no, I don't want to be remembered. In fact, I'm hoping whatever you're writing will die, unread by anyone. Look, you may be wanting to have a wife, kids, all that shit. I didn't, and I don't. I'm happy just living how I'm living. When I die, that will be that. Not everyone wants to write their name in the sky. So what'll happen to my money and my property when I'm gone? Not that it's any of your business, but it goes to a couple of organizations that help things I believe in. I don't want to go on. I don't want to be remembered, but there's something satisfying in thinking that there are ideas I believe in that I can help continue even after I stop. In the meantime, I don't have much to do. My repair days are long gone. My restaurant days also finished. I have a little money, but my back is worse than ever, and I've got arthritis besides. I do a bit of traveling when I can, but it's hard to find places to go that are easy enough for me to get around once I manage to get there. I've always liked travel, but I didn't do it much when I was younger. I was always busy working. I started to do it some when I was head cook for those restaurants, but only for short times in the off-season. When I retired, I was traveling all around the world for a while, but my back was a problem from my first trip. And now it's just a bit too much to think about. So I sit here in my retirement home doing my crossword puzzles and hoping like hell that no one brings the COVID in. And I don't know what I'll do if I live another 20 years, breaking 100. I might have enough money to get by, but then again, maybe not. Really can't say. So leave me to my life, and I'll thank you not to tell me when you've written your little book or essay or whatever. Don't send me a copy. Don't tell me where it is on the internet. Frankly, I don't know why I agreed to this in the first place. I guess I have a soft spot for people who seem to be hustling. Goodbye. And that's the story for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. I think this one requires a little talk or explanation. I wasn't sure what story I wanted to tell, and I thought, well, maybe I'll do something more along the lines of a character sketch, and that's sort of where this idea came from. And I sort of had the idea, like, if I did a character sketch, like, who would not want a character sketch done of them? And that sort of developed into this story. So in a weird way, it's kind of like hearkening back to the start of CryptoBiography when I was actually going out and interviewing, real people and telling their actual life stories before I turned it into the fiction podcast that it is now. So this is sort of an odd sort of semi-return to that, where I'm writing something fictional, yet trying to make it seem like a very real person's story. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun writing it this week. I might do it again, but, there's something to be said for actual stories with, full plot lines and so on, too. And, so if you wanted more of this or enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it or whatever, I'd love for you to tell me about it. CryptoBiography@gmail.com, or hit us up on Facebook or Twitter, CryptoBiography in both places. And thanks for listening. Words and music copyright 2021, CryptoBiography LLC, all rights reserved. Characters and events are fictional, fictionalized, or satirical.